All right, this is a lesson in values. I'm taking an area, this is all in shadows, and I'm taking this area and adjusting the values so that they can have parts of the cliff. In this case, there's a whole ridge that goes along this cliff line that comes forward. So you need to have the values. In this case, I'm using a medium brown color, and just by putting that color in certain places along this cliff, it will bring that cliff forward. So having let me do a little lighter. That might be too light, but that's the idea. See how this very light brown color is bringing this ridge forward? And the ridge, it goes along this cliff, but it comes up. It starts low to the ground over here. So I'm going to capture that. I'm taking my time so that it's not big globs of paint because it's a very thin ridge line that comes forward. You can see it's coming along here. You tone that down a little bit. I think there's, let's say, 2 bands of color that come through the granite. And if you're a geologist or into rock formation and stuff, it's very fascinating how these are layers and layers that whatever show what was on the earth 50,000 years ago, and now they're coming through this cliff line and making this really cool light color that shows up right along this cliff. So there you can see it's gone from over here down around here. I can continue that color on as it progresses down this rock formation, and if you were to stand at this rock and run your hands along it, which I love to do, you can see the layers, this lighter layer of rock all along this wall, and it goes way back over here to the left, and it's because it's slanted, it's not totally vertical, it actually goes right into the ground over here. So I'm going to show that by painting that lighter color that goes along this cliff into the ground. And that will add, okay, so now that I'm here and I have this color, right along the top of this cliff is an area where the sunlight is hitting. And because I love painting the effects of sunlight, I'm going to include areas where the sunlight's hitting this. This is a kind of a sand rock, and that sand rock goes along the cliff here. And even right here on the edge, the rock comes in, and getting the detail of what's going on in the rock really makes for an interesting painting. And sometimes we can gloss over it, and sometimes we want to include the detail. Well, I'm including the detail here because to me that's part of the beauty of this area, is that the rock has all these areas that have fallen into the ocean and leave scars on the rock, and when you paint them and add the character to the painting, it makes for a more interesting painting. So that's why I'm doing these different layers of the rock. And then right on the edge of the cliff here, I'm kind of exaggerating the slope. This slope is relatively flat when you go and stand on it, but in my painting here, it's a lot more vertical. Horizontal, sorry. There you go. What do you think? Good?